Kalanidhi Veeraswamy, great meeting you here along the campaign trail on CNBC TV 18. You are standing for re-election from North Chennai. It is a constituency that is both ecologically sensitive yet industrially intensive. What are the key issues for you, even as you stand for re-election, from what I'm sure is a very crucial constituency for both you and the DMK?
This election, you know that we are facing this election, especially for my constituency in particular, after this the Migjong cyclone, and it devastated the whole of Chennai and southern districts also. But here in Tiruvattiur, we had a issue because there was some oil spill, and subsequent to that, we had faced some gas leak from Coromandel's company. And we were really concerned about the problems with the people were facing. And I met the union minister asking him to close down this unit because it is a real threat which is faced by the people. So when we started off the campaign, my first point of campaign was from Tiruvattiur. Okay. So we want to see how the people are going to be reacting. But we have been in constant touch with them from the time of these disasters. Like, we've constantly been in touch with the people. So when we went there, the people were very happy, especially mainly because I think three factors are very important. One is the Chief Minister has brought in a lot of welfare measures, like for poor households. He has given them 1,000 rupees per month. And apart from that, he has done some bus travels, has been made, where they don't have to pay for their bus travels within cities.
Right.
And apart from that, during this cyclone, though the union government has not supported us anything financially, our Honorable Chief Minister has ensured that each and every affected family was paid some amount to compensate them for their loss of 6,000 rupees. And especially in Tiruvattiur, where the oil spill was there, those families were paid 13,000 rupees. So when we went for the campaign, we found that the people were very receptive, and they were very, it was not that they understand that these are force measures which are beyond control of, individuals. So we are confident that the people will be giving us an opportunity again.
I'm glad you brought up that point about your petition to the union minister with regard to shutting down Coromandel fertilizers. I also remember it came just a few days before the global investors meet. So the question, sir, is when such incidents occur, and you being an MP of the constituency, of course, such petitions also occur, will that be at loggerheads with the DMK's mission of investment and ease of doing business and ensuring that there is no bottleneck really for corporates? Coromandel Fertilizer is a big company, and yet you petitioned to shut down the plant even while an inquiry was on. So is that at loggerheads with what your party wants to do on the investment front?
Not at all. See, you have to understand that we do want investments, but not at the cost of human lives. See, these are issues where, take this Coromandel fertilizer incident. When we went and investigated, we don't need to have a detailed inquiry, but the environmental clearance, they have stipulated on certain things which need to be done. One of them is that periodic dry runs should be done where the surrounding villages, they're supposed to educate them about what to do in case of a calamity like this, where they give them some kind of a training and all those things. And they are supposed to have had some vehicles standby ready, where if there is a calamity, to evacuate these people. But none of these was being followed. See, when we are giving you a clearance for doing something, the companies are expected to do certain things. So when you're talking about a global investors meet, if you see, these kind of incidences in developed nations or other nations are taken very seriously. They do not just say that, okay, it's a huge company and they're bringing in a lot of revenue, so a few lives doesn't matter, is not the attitude with which anybody does. So why should India or Tamil Nadu, for that matter, have that kind of a situation? If the reason why we have something called as a pollution control board is to ensure that all these things are being followed. So we are taking to task even the pollution control board for these lacunae or failures which have happened. And I feel that the people have a right to say that when their lives are at threat. Now they are claiming that for the last few days when this company has been closed, they say that they are able to breathe freely only during this period, and even otherwise during when it was functioning, they claim that the gas leak happens where they intentionally release a little bit of gas in the midnight so that people are not aware. but they say that it has spoiled polluted the atmosphere around them. So I think we have to strengthen our pollution control board. We should ensure that these companies put up sensors where all these indicators, I mean like ammonia or carbon monoxide, particulate matter, all these things are being constantly displayed so that even people are aware of what is the status of the pollution which is happening around them.
Right.
So none of these things are being done now. So we are insisting that all these things should be done because there are several other factories in and around Tiruvattiur and Manali and Ennur areas. So we are insisting on all those things so that people can have a better quality of life.
Fair enough. So, for the sake of our audiences, what is the status right now with regard to the Coromandel plant? They've suspended operations. If you could just bring us up to speed with the present status of it.
See, we have given the petition to the Union Minister and I have also requested the state government to take appropriate action. But the matter is in court, so it's sub judice and we are awaiting what the outcome of the court's investigation is going to be. And I'm sure that earlier there was the Sterlite company and everybody was saying that Sterlite is such a big company and it needs to be kind of, they need to be supported. But see, when it comes to the support of a company or people, I feel that if there is threat to people's lives or livelihood, I think we need to address that. And see, there are so many other companies which are functioning in Tamil Nadu. When all of those companies are functioning where there is no conflict between the people and the company, then we have to support them. But when there is a problem where there is a threat to life or longevity, then we definitely need to address those things.
In fact, I was going to ask you next, it must be difficult to be the MP in North Chennai where you have to constantly make a decision between people, the local people versus the factories. But I think you already answered the question that when it's a question of life, the answer is pretty straightforward. So going forward, and given all that we've seen, it was not just Coromandel fertilizer, but even the CPCL incident which led to the oil spill. Is environmental protection social, not even social, people's lives really, is that going to be the right to life? Is that a main campaign point for you this time around as you seek re-election? If no, what are the others that you are talking about when you meet your electorate or your potential electorate as you go on your campaign?
See, even when this oil spill and all those things happened, there have been people who have raised concerns from that locality. And I have attended all those gatherings. I have discussed with them and I have made it very clear that my agenda is that if there is any problem which is going to be affecting people's lives or livelihood, I will be standing by them. So this is something which I feel, I'm in solidarity with them. So I have absolutely no differences of
And that
opinion.
is your main campaign point this election?
Definitely. No, not the main campaign point. See, the main campaign point, there are so many other issues which need to be done. Especially if you're talking about North Chennai, when we started off, you said that it is ecologically sensitive, but you also have to understand that parts of my constituency are also economically sensitive. There are economically weaker sections who live here. So we are trying to see how we can improve the quality of life for all these people. In fact, one of our tall leaders, Kalinger, he had instituted this department called as Slum Clearance Board.
Yes.
So the Slum Clearance Board has constantly been working where hutments have been removed and they have been provided with concrete houses. But despite years of efforts, there are still some areas where there are some huts and especially in places like Royapuram, RK Nagar. So we are trying to see how, and if you look at the places where they live in, they will be actually very, for us it will be very, sad to see those kind of states, but these people have been living all their lives or for generations in those areas, and when we request them to move to another area where we give them a concrete house, they say that if you can build a house for us over here, we would prefer that. So it's a huge challenge. So we are trying to see how the quality of life can be improved.